Welcome back to the University of Queensland School of Architecture series introducing Rhino and Grasshopper. In this final set of videos, we're going to look at the outputs from Grasshopper back into Rhino so we can actually do some things, produce some drawings and so on in the Rhino space. Now, to make our job a bit easier, what I would suggest that you do in the first instance is to clean up, I guess, all of the redundant geometry by just turning off things that aren't needed and neatening up your routine, labeling it and so on. Then what we'll do is that we'll aggregate all of the sort of final geometries into canisters that we can then quite easily bake in the one place. So we'll start, we're going to aggregate a series of breps in the first instance, and I'll copy these because there's a few, 2, 3, 4, there's probably a few breps in here that we want to accumulate. Now the first one is that we want to pick up our slabs, so our slabs then can go into this first brep. We can then put a group around that and call that floor slabs, and then do the same as we go through the other geometry. So we have the columns, where are the columns? Internal columns through here, that's them there, so we'll aggregate those into a brep there. This is CLT, so there's one lot of CLT fins. We'll pop those in there. There's the other lot through here. Don't forget we need to push the shift key to do multiples. We've got then the facade, which will actually be a mesh through here. Where's the facade? So there's the mesh. We've got 4 coming into there. 1, 2, shift key down, and also don't forget that you need to turn off your add your routine down here, because otherwise it'll be just recalculating while you're going through all of this stuff as well, which will slow things down considerably. And we're going to do an add through there. So this will be, again, this was our internal columns. We grouped this one, and that one was our CLT fins. This one was our facades. We've got our lift core floors, extruding the floors, that's these ones here. So we'll group that, lift, core floors. We'll copy that as well, and we'll get the facades. This is, yep, that's a facade through there. Pop that in there. The other facade through here. That's there. So we'll group that, and we'll call that one lift core facade. Okay, through there, This last one will be our lift cores through here. Pop that in there. Group those, and that will be our lift cores. Okay, so I'll just arrange those a little neater. Okie dokie. So as you can see, as you sort of flick through here, we've got a whole bunch of the values in through there. Now I'm going to expand this out a bit to pull up my layers, and you'll see why in a second. Now when you finish this, you can then clean up the routine, group these, get rid of all of the spaghetti so there's not spaghetti going everywhere. Now to bake or to commit the geometry into Rhino, what we do is we get our component or a final aggregation of these components, right click and bake. And you can see here that it gives you the opportunity to bake these elements into different layers. So I might cancel it and go back into Rhino. So I've got my layers panel open here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some layers. So I'm going to go floor slabs, I'll do columns, I'll do facades, and I'll do lift, I'll do cores. Okay, so that's more or less picked up everything that we want through there. Okay, so again, when we go into here, then we'll go into bake. We'll put the floor slabs into floor slabs. We'll go color by layer, blah blah blah, normal mode. Okay, I'm not going to group them because I want them to be editable. So that's now gone into there. Internal columns, I'm going to bake, and I'm going to bake that into columns. Okay. CLT fins I will bake, and I'll bake that into columns as well. Facades, I will bake that into facades. Okay. The lift core facade, I will also bake that into facades. The lift core floors, I will bake that into the floor slabs. Okay. Lift cores, I will bake that into cores. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'll turn off the geometry from Grasshopper through the viewports through here. So I'm going to turn off that preview geometry, and you can see here now all of a sudden all of that geometry is now committed into Rhino space, but this geometry is fixed, it's no longer parametric. So if you do things with this geometry now and you want to change it, the Grasshopper script's not going to help you. I'm just going to do a shaded view so you can see all the different elements through there. So that's got the elements from Grasshopper into Rhino, and now for the next videos we're just going to do a few simple sections to get some other outputs from the model.